In a bid to boost the grain production in East African countries, different agriculturalists had an engagement workshop earlier today right here in Kampala to pave ways on how best the grain industry can be developed. The East African Grain Council, an association that operates with countries like Tanzania, Zambia, Ethiopia, South Sudan, among others, note that statistics show how Uganda earns a revenue of over $350 million from grains annually. However, it's on record that the unfavorable weather conditions in Uganda account to a loss of 40% of grains by farmers, which in turn threatens the government revenue. Now, Paul Stacklesi, the programs manager, East African Grain Council, displayed to the gathering Uganda balance sheet that technically explains this.
Consider the Uganda National Food Balance Sheet. This document is an important document because it will help us to understand and get a snapshot of how much food is available within the country, and it will also go an extra mile to notify us on how much tradable stocks are available. So that by the time we are planning regional trade, we know how much the country has and how much the country consumes, and then what would be the surplus or deficit. When the surplus is there, we can do regional, we can do trade, and when the deficit, when there is a deficit, then we consider importing.
Amidst all these loopholes, Stacklesi reaffirms how Uganda is fighting tooth and nail to make it to the East African grain standards. He has also called upon all stakeholders in the agriculture industry to join the move of boosting the grain industry in the East African countries.
Eastern Africa Grain Council, for example, has been the champion in ensuring that we harmonize regional grain standards. Before, we used to have different standards in each country. And we had instances where the produce, so for example, maize would leave Uganda and goes to Kenya as grade 1. Then when it gets to Kenya, they refer to it as chakora cha kuku. And then they offer less prices. And our traders would make huge losses. But EAGC, we came in and championed the harmonization of the standard so that when a commodity leaves Uganda and goes into any EAC country, it will maintain that very grade because the standards are the same that are being used in those countries.
This comes at a time when the Uganda government implemented a grain policy, and it's most probable that with this policy put into action, productivity will return in the industry.
To call upon all the stakeholders, especially the grain chain value actors, to come and join us because we need this. Grains form the biggest part of food that we consume in Uganda. So all the stakeholders out there, please come join us to ensure that we promote the standards, and come join us to ensure that the country is food secure.
This story has been compiled by Abel Chitaka for Channel 44 TV, Kampala.